Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. It's Monday, May 9th. I hope you're doing well and your week's off to a great start. Okay, some big news from the SBA. They are still processing EIDL loans. That's breaking news, and it may be in part due to this letter that was written to the SBA requesting that they continue reviewing the applications that were already in the queue. I'll talk about which lawmakers wrote this letter, what they asked for, and what they're doing today with additional EIDL funding approval. Plus, two more things to tell you about: a new $10,000 grant program and the $50,000 loans from the SBA. I'll touch on microloans briefly and how you can get help. Bottom line, there's still lots of funding out there, whether you're an individual, an entrepreneur looking to start a business or looking to grow your existing business. Now more than ever, it's important to understand your options because of headlines like this in the Wall Street Journal today. Stocks slide to their lowest in 2022 as rout continues. Stocks are down, interest rates are up, including Bitcoin and crypto. Bitcoin price falls 55% from its high. If you have any investments, chances are you're in the red. And the flip side is inflation continues, interest rates are going up. If you can lock in funding now, it's still a good time to do it before things get worse. So I'll make a couple points there, but let me start with EIDL funding. By the way, thanks everyone for tuning in, subscribing if you're new. We've opened up a few more spots this week to give you one-on-one funding support. If you want to book a time, go to SBAVIP.com. Try risk-free. That's SBAVIP.com. Just today, we've been getting more people approved, not only for EIDL funding, but for other SBA programs, other grant programs, and private financing options as well, which still have competitive rates, but they may not have them for much longer. Okay, first, EIDL. This letter was written to the SBA on Friday because on Thursday, the SBA said, we don't have any more funding, so we're shutting it down. Turns out what I've just heard is that that's not the case. And the message I got here is that the SBA is back to processing the loans that were in the queue when the funding was exhausted. There aren't many details there as to why, but the portal will be shut down next Monday, May 16th, and loan officers are working overtime until then. So that's good news for anyone who's in the queue who panicked when they announced they ran out of funds last Thursday. It could be in part due to this letter written by Ben Cardin, who's the chairman on the Senate Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship, and Chris Van Hollen, who's the chairman for the Senate Appropriations Subcommittee on Financial Services and General Government. The letter goes as follows: we are writing to express disappointment in the SBA's decision to close down the COVID EIDL program ahead of May 6th deadline that was announced to borrowers last week. This decision is particularly confounding when, by the agency's own admission, additional funding remains available for transfer to the EIDL program under the authority of Section 9006B2A of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, IIJA. It goes on to say shutting it down early has created confusion and hurt borrowers or potential borrowers because the SBA sent notifications the previous week encouraging existing borrowers to apply before the program closed on May 6th. Of course, we always said earlier is better. Just because the SBA gives you a deadline, don't take it to the bank. Senators here are saying, well, this was very confusing. And there's a quote right here: the SBA has misled thousands of struggling small businesses into believing that funding for EIDL loans would be available. Third paragraph here: furthermore, if funding does indeed remain available that could be transferred under the authority of the IIJA, Infrastructure Jobs Act, to serve borrowers in the EIDL loan program, SBA should exercise that authority immediately so that pending applications for modifications, rehearings, and appeals can be processed and funded. The fourth paragraph here's a big one. Remember all of that targeted advance funding that was talked about being taken away because they had more targeted and supplemental advance funding than they could give out? Basically here they're saying, yes, take that money from the advance program and put it towards funding some of these loans. That's what's been suggested here. They close here by saying, we expect your agency, the SBA, to take swift action to make all available funding accessible to eligible applicants immediately. Here's what I think happened. Thursday, the SBA looked up and said, oh man, we have all of the funding earmarked. We cannot approve any more. maybe it happened quicker than they expected. We do know loan officers have been working 7 days a week around the clock to process things in a timely fashion before the deadlines that they mentioned. May 6th, last day to get in documents. May 16th, last day to have access to the portal. So they issued a quick press release. This was a response that was quickly written saying, hold on, you said people had until May 6th to apply for EIDL increases. So I'm sure it got back to Isabel Guzman and her policy team, and they said, yeah, let's see what we can do. Can we keep approving folks? Do we have enough funding? The answer seems to be yes, and what I've seen confirmed here is that SBA loan officers are back to processing the loans that were already in the queue. So good news for anyone in the queue. But to share some perspective here, I talked about this last week when we thought the program was officially ended. There are other great programs, microloan up to $50K, if you could use up to $50,000. That's the theme that our team is helping people with this week. If you need a microloan, use the link in the description or go to sbavip.com. Book a time to talk with us, risk-free. We'll help you navigate your state. What are the lender options in your state? Pros and cons of each lender, how to apply, how to gather documents, what timing you can expect, etc. Then next week, we're going to talk more about 7A, 504, and some other options. And the good news is a lot of these programs have quicker approval times. Yes, the interest rates are a little bit higher than EIDL. There's no doubt about it. Nowhere in the US right now could you get 3.75% over 30 years. Just today, here are some average mortgage rates. In this example, 30-year fixed 6.1%, 15-year fixed 5%. So they've gone up quite a bit. You know, these were 2 or 3 percentage points lower a year ago. So those have gone up. So EIDL, no doubt about it, it's the best deal out there, but there are still good deals. Capital is not as cheap because of a lot of these macro trends we're seeing: inflation, sharp rise in interest rates. But I did want to point out the Verizon Small Business Digital Ready Grant Program. You need to apply by June 30th, 2022. Let me tell you what it's about. Digital Ready is our online curriculum designed to give small businesses like yours the personalized tools to succeed in today's digital world. Learning modules, expert coaching, peer networking, etc. A lot of these programs have that built in. But apparently they also have $10,000 grant opportunities along with this to apply, complete 2 courses or coaching events between January and June, and apply by June. So there's a little bit of work here. I'm going to leave a link in the description in case you want to read about this. Like I've said before, you know, a lot of these grant programs do have some strings attached to them. Probably the easiest one out there is, of course, our grant program. We've been donating our YouTube revenue for nearly 2 years. I think we've given out around $150,000 back to subscribers of this channel. If you go to helloskip.com/1K, probably half of you watching have already gone there. But if you go there, it takes 30 seconds to enter, put in your name. If you have a business and a website, you can put that information in too and enter our $1,000 grants giveaway. In April, we picked 2 $5,000 grant winners. Next Wednesday, we're going to plan to pick $5,000 winners. If we get more interest, we can give out more money. So if you share this video or tell more people about our grants, it goes a long way. So that's today's update. Some good EIDL news, perhaps in part due to this letter. What we've had confirmed, they're still processing some microloans. Heard back from our team, there's a lot of positive news there in terms of how we're helping people find a lender, submit documents, and get those $50,000 microloans. And there's other big programs we will be talking about later this week on a YouTube Live. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Don't forget, you can go to SBA VIP to see if there's a time available for you to talk with someone on our team about the best funding options for you and how to apply, and to guide you step by step through any application processes. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.